Hi guys, it's Nikki with Nikki Speaks, and I'm so glad that you tuned in today to join me for another episode of my podcast and also my live Facebook Live. And today I have a special interview with my cousin. Isn't she beautiful? Paige Williams, and she's going to tell you a little bit more about what she does and who she is. So.
Okay, hi everybody. I am Paige Williams. I am a licensed Texas esthetician, and I own a business in the Dallas area, but I do have clients in surrounding areas. But I am in the business of skin and making your skin be a better version for you. So that's what I do. Yes, so that's what I do.
Awesome, yes, and she takes such good care of our skin and our family, and then also her own, and just people throughout the Metroplex.
Yes.
But I wanted to ask you, so in terms of, like, for me, I know a struggle has been with keeping my skin up and making sure that I'm exfoliating, using all my products, like you stay on top of me all the time.
Yes, I do. I have to.
So what is an easy method or remedy that you can tell somebody that's like me, that doesn't really, doesn't do what they're supposed to do? Like, how can they stay on top of their skin?
Okay, well, one thing I will say is that it's never too late to start on your skin.
Good.
I mean, I don't care if you're 89 years old, it's really not too late. Mm-hmm. So, easy things that you can actually do are make your own exfoliant.
Okay.
From things that you actually have at home in your cabinet.
Oh, really?
Yes.
How do you do that?
You can either use sugar,
okay,
or salt in combination with the coconut oil or either olive oil.
Okay.
So what you do is you can get it, put it in a jar, and it makes a paste.
Okay.
And it makes it, a paste, and
like a mason jar, like a regular.
You can do a mason jar or something even smaller than that.
Okay.
Just something that you can store away, and the life of that can last you about 6 months before anything sets in or anything like that, because it's all natural ingredients.
Okay.
So that's the good thing about it.
Do I have to put it in the refrigerator, or?
You can put it in the refrigerator, but it can survive off of just room temperature.
Oh, okay.
It really can. So, but exfoliating is the number one thing. It really is, because if you don't renew your skin cells and remove that dead skin, then you have no place for the new skin to even grow, and it's like sitting in dormant. It's not going to do anything. Okay. It's going to cause you to have breakouts out of nowhere, and it's just going to be something that is not beneficial for your skin. So I do recommend exfoliating no more than twice a week.
Okay.
Because you don't want to strip your skin of the natural oils and things that it has. So
what's a good over-the-counter, like I can get at Walgreens or CVS?
Like
I'm just trying to think of the
exfoliant
that made me,
I would say St. Ives.
St. Ives, okay.
St. Ives has scrubs. But the only thing that I want you to remember is you're not supposed to exfoliate more than twice a week.
Okay.
And a lot of St. Ives scrubs it's a cleanser.
Okay.
So just because it's a cleanser doesn't mean you have to use that cleanser every day.
That's good.
You can keep that cleanser for the 2 times that you exfoliate.
Okay.
And then it's affordable.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think it's no more than $7.
Okay.
And it's St. Ives.
So if there's products, the products that you're using, if it has an exfoliant component to it, then stay away from using that more than the 2 times, right? Because it's going to, like you said,
it can strip your skin of its natural oils, and it can also keep your skin from renewing itself and having that healthy glow. Okay. And you don't want to do that.
Okay. What about what is it called? Sunscreen. For Black people, because I've always been told, or I thought, that you don't have to have.
I know. I was one of those believers. I was raised that cocoa butter was the answer to everything. It was crazy. Palmer's cocoa butter.
Right.
I would say choosing the right SPF. You would go by what you're doing. Okay, so if you're going to be out in the sun, swimming, or at the beach, I'd say go for an SPF 50. Okay. Go for the 50 because you're in direct sun. You're in direct sun.
Okay.
A lot of times, makeup products, moisturizers, and things, some of them do come with SPF in it, but sometimes it's not enough.
It's not 50.
It's not enough. It's not 50. It's not enough.
I've seen like 20.
Right. You see 20 and stuff like that. Yeah. Now, see, 20 is something that I would use on a daily basis.
Okay.
20, 25, 30. I use that on a daily basis. I mean, every day. Like the thing about sunscreens, you can actually get your favorite moisturizer, and even though it doesn't come in there, you can add it in there.
Oh, okay.
You can add it.
Okay. And it won't do anything.
It won't do anything. You can add it. And I find that most sunscreens alone give you a cast. Gives you like a great cast on your skin.
That's the thing. I haven't found one that does that. So maybe if I add the moisturizer.
Just add it and make it your own. I mean, you can go to Walmart and just literally get any sunscreen that's in the raw. And when I say in the raw, not in a moisturizer. And add it to your favorite moisturizer, customize it, and just make that work for you.
Okay.
You can do that. But you definitely have to pay attention to the activities that you're doing to choose what you're going to be using. So swimming, I mean, the sun is, I mean, you tan when you swim.
Right.
You don't tan when you walk to the mailbox. So there's no use to wearing 50 when you're just going to the mall.
Right.
But you do need a sunscreen year round, not just summertime. It has to be year round. And I mean, even if you're in Alaska.
Oh, wow.
I'm serious.
Okay.
Even the smallest peekaboo of the sun can really do damage to your skin.
Wow.
I mean, it's just really important. I cannot stress that enough. I mean, because 80% of aging comes from the sun.
Oh, wow.
And 20% comes from what
hide from the sun.
20% comes from what we do to ourselves. Smoking, diet, stress, alcohol, etc., etc.
Wow.
So yes, definitely.
Wow.
Year round, because melanoma is really big in the Black community, and a lot of people don't realize. Even some of their idols, like Bob Marley, he died of skin cancer.
Wow.
Yes, he died of skin cancer.
What happened?
He had skin cancer on his big toe, and he didn't realize what it was.
Okay.
And he, continued to let it, the growth and everything and stuff like that, and he ended up dying of it. And it was melanoma.
That's so awful.
Yes, it's awful.
So we have to stay on top of our skin, guys.
Yes,
and
we
that's
do.
why I'm so glad I have you on the show to talk about that, because I think that's an area that we don't really focus on.
We don't.
Right?
And a lot of people are, discouraged because, they may look at a show that's talking about skin, and it's really not. They're saying, well, they're not talking about my skin. They're not talking about the dark skin.
Right.
But we're here to talk about all skin.
Yeah, I remember laying out. Like,
I know
when I was younger, because they said
so much damage.
Right, you can get your whole skin complexion the same color.
Yes,
so I thought,
yes.
Okay, maybe if I do
my
that.
Goodness. And some things I want the African American community to know is that hyperpigmentation is something that is in our genes.
Yeah.
And that is because we are so mixed up with so many different things. And I feel like, when you have a lot of Cherokee in you, you have a lot of different races in you, hyperpigmentation is something that, and a lot of people, like you said, you want it to be one tone. It's not, you're not going to be able to do it like that. You're going to burn your skin, and you're going to increase your risk of having skin cancer when you do that.
We don't want to do that.
We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that.
Right.
We don't want to get in tanning beds either, y'all. I really hate that. I really hate tanning beds. I mean, you have a lot of blacks that are getting into trying to get the even skin tone.
Right. Which is, we just heard, it's not
good for you.
Possible. So.
It's not. No, it's not.
So tell me, okay, so basically my show is on finding your voice.
Okay.
And if you wanted to speak to an audience of women or men or children, youth, what have you, that were struggling with finding themselves, and believing in themselves and loving themselves, as it pertains to skin or as it pertains just to life in general, what would you say to encourage them to just keep living, to keep?
I would say to use what you've been through for your inner strength.
I love it.
I would say let that be your fuel. And I also would be thankful that you have made it through that, because you made it through, and you can actually look back on that and reflect and say, hey, look where I'm at now.
Right.
Look how far I've came.
Right.
Look how I have taken my power back from what's happened to me and turned it into something amazing. That's what I would say. And never give up. Never stop. None of us are perfect. So you still might hit those brick walls where you have that, feeling of just you just have that overwhelming feeling that takes you back. But then you got to know that you can, say, hey, stop it.
Right. I'm not going back.
No, I'm not going back and stop it. You know, and you just have to know when it comes. You have to be able to stop it right then.
Right.
You have to, because if you take it too far, then you'll go back into that vibe. And you just want to keep a positive vibe and just keep that flow going.
Right. So for you, is there something that you've been through that you want to share that you overcame or in the process of overcoming that can help somebody else or encourage an audience member or
I was raped as a child. I was molested. I was not only molested 5 times, but I was molested by different people 5 times. That's something that's not too rare, I find, but it did happen. I would say that me being able to just become the woman that I am now took a lot. It really did.
Tell me about it.
It took a lot. And I feel like one thing that helped me to get through the nights and the days was God, my higher power, you know, whatever higher power that you have, you know, and being able to speak upon it, being able to talk about it and tell someone, and being able to interact with other women that have been through the same thing. And then I'm like, hey, I'm not by myself. I'm not alone. I'm not the worst.
That is so key.
That's the thing.
Not to stop you, but I think when we go through things, the isolation.
I made sure I kept myself surrounded by women that had been through what I've been through.
Yeah.
And why that is so important, not to remind me what I had been through, but just to strengthen me.
Right.
You know,
you're not alone. You're okay.
And strengthen me. And then I had, you know, you meet women that are more far along than you. And that gives you motivation to keep going. You know what I'm saying? It gives you motivation to keep going. It just gives you that inner strength like no other. It's just like I mean, even though you guys don't have the same mother, but it's definitely a sisterhood.
Right.
Definitely.
So tell me about the moments where you felt alone. I know you've mentioned God, but was there anything else that you did that helped you navigate just going through any of that, you know, or did it take you, like, looking back over time and analyzing it?
Okay, so one of the things that I used to do very often, I would just look in the mirror and just tell myself that, you know, you are important, you are loved, this happened to you, but it doesn't define you. And it was important for me to do that because I had such a low self-esteem about it. You know what I'm saying? And just to see myself in the mirror and being able to accept all the flaws I have and just all the imperfections I have, and just know that God made me perfect in His eyes. Right. So that definitely helped me. Secondly, my children. My children.
That's big.
My
That's
children.
Huge. Right.
My children. During that time, I can remember, like, when I was like 23, 24 years old, I would have suicidal thoughts. The suicidal thoughts, they would, you know, they would be there, you know, but I would always be like, well, you know, if I did that, who would take care of my kids? What would my kids think of me of being a quitter? You know, and I never wanted to be a quitter because that's not me. Right. And so I had to talk to me. I had to talk to me. I had to talk to myself. Right. I didn't really have nobody that I was surrounded around that I could really reach out to without being judged. Right. So I continue to talk to myself and
build yourself up.
Build myself up.
That's good.
Build myself up. You know, growing up, you know, not only did I endure those things, but my mother was a heroin addict, you know? So, I mean, I can remember when I was 6 and 7 years old watching her stick a needle in her arm, and she didn't care about how I felt. So I wanted to know that I cared about my kids' feelings if I did something to me. Right. You know? And that was very important. That was very important. That was very important. That's good. And then just knowing that, you know, I would think about my mother and what, you know, and still today she's a heroin addict at 65 years old. It's crazy. And at some point in your life, you have to break these broken chains. Yes, you have to. You have to.
What do you tell yourself to keep from feeling like a victim? Like, to feel like, you know, all these things happen, why me? I mean, it's just easy when we go through things, I think, to feel the weight of those things. And we become so consumed with that that we feel like nobody else can relate.
Right. Well, definitely, I stopped feeling sorry for me. And I had to understand that the purpose that God has for me. And I had to understand that I had been selfish, thinking it was all about me. But it wasn't. It was all about the woman He wanted to mold me to be. And that strength, He knew I could handle it.
Right.
He knew I could. Right. And that's
which
one
is
thing.
So hard. You hear that coming up in church,
knew
like,
I could handle it.
I can't handle this.
He knew I could handle it.
Right.
And now I see that I could handle it.
Right.
I could handle it.
And what you're doing for others. Tell them about VAM.
Oh, VAM Women's Society.
You have to connect, guys.
Yes, I'm the founder of VAM Women's Society, and I came up with the name VAM because I had 3 female cousins that had passed away of cancer, and it's Vita, Avante, and Merlin. That's where VAM is born. And VAM Women's Society, we help women with HIV and AIDS, okay? And I don't care where you are, if I have to reach out through emails or even on the phone, we help women with HIV and AIDS. And what made me target women with HIV and AIDS is because my mother has HIV, because she got that from using a dirty needle, you know, during her heroin days. So it's important to me to be able to renew the lives of a broken woman. And when I say you're broken, when you get that diagnosis, that is a life-changing experience.
It is.
You have to wake up with something every day that you can't take a Tylenol for.
Right.
So you need that encouragement. You need that push. You need that love. You need that sisterhood. You need the presence of good energy, and you need God. You need it. And you need it all.
You do.
So, and so many people aren't educated. So I definitely am pushing to educate people more about how HIV can be transferred. How you know, some people think, you know, even if a person coughs, they can get HIV. They think if they touch you, they can get HIV. Some people are afraid to even love because they're afraid to get HIV.
Wow.
So it's important for us not only to work with women and help them build their self-esteem, but also to get the education out there.
Right.
And really, you know, get the education out there. It's so many females and males that are not being tested. And they're sexually active, and that's not the only way you can get HIV is being sexually active. You can get it from dirty needles, you know.
Right. You have to really be careful.
Yeah, you have. Oh my God, you have to be so careful, You have to get tested. You have to get tested
every 6 months.
Every 6 months, you have to get tested, and that's for heterosexuals and homosexuals. So we're not going to pinpoint anybody and say, oh, they have it more, they have it more. We all have it more. It's a people, and we are one.
That's good. Very good.
That's it.
So I want to talk to the young men and the young women who are hiding.
Okay.
The fact that they have walked through this, and they're in that moment where, you know, they don't know who to cry to, who to talk to. What would you recommend, especially specifically if it was, you know, someone younger or what have you? Who do they reach out to?
Well,
like that?
I definitely would reach. The first thing I would do is try to find a community center near you. Most community centers do offer free counseling.
Okay.
And, you know, it's under HIPAA law. So you can't discuss anyone's situation outside of that room.
Right.
And that's important. Because a lot of people are afraid, okay, if I tell this person, then it's going to be a chain
I don't
reaction.
want to find out, yeah.
Right.
And there's a lot of fear.
Yeah, there's a lot of fear in there. The earlier you address whatever you're dealing with, the better.
Okay.
The earlier, the better. And, you know, if you don't have money, like I said, they have many places, many organizations that you can actually call. And I think you can dial this, it's called 611. It's like an information line. It's 611. And what they do is you tell them, well, I need domestic violence counseling, or do they have any centers nearby that help people with HIV and AIDS, or even groups? And that's something that I'm working on getting together, is group nights. I want to be able to do that with the ladies. I want to be able to have a group night so we can just talk about different subjects and, you know, things like that.
Now, what is that? Where are they located? The shelter that you're referencing?
Okay, so there's a domestic violence shelter that it's off of, it's in, not North Richland Hills.
Okay.
It's in North Richland Hills. And I do know for a fact that they help you out with clothes.
Okay.
They even help you out with Walmart gift cards.
Okay.
And they have Walmart donates stuff to them, including other people, and they donate new stuff.
Wow.
So they're not giving you used things. And so if you call them and set up an appointment, you can go down, and they do help out with deposits too. They also have different activities for the kids. They help you out with school clothes, shoes,
Wow.
bedding,
That's awesome.
kitchen items. I mean, it's a wonderful place. And then they have a food pantry that's built inside of it. So the women that come to them, they help them out with food once a month.
Oh, that's good.
And it's in North
That's
Richmond Hills.
good.
It's domestic violence shelter.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, cousin.
Thank you for having me. I love you so much. Yes, yes.
You guys like her, follow her, share all her information.
Yes. I'm on Instagram. You can follow me at Texas Skin Empress.
Yes.
And you can
Spell
also
that out for 'em.
Okay, so it's excuse me, you guys, I'm not perfect. SKIN Empress. EMPRESS, all together.
Yes.
So you can definitely find me on there, and you can also find me on my VAM Holistic Skincare at VAM Holistic Skincare.
Yes.
So both of those are on Instagram. And if you know anybody that is struggling with a new diagnosis or HIV, please feel free to give them my number. You know, I am very in tune with this. My number is 817-655-2849. And when they call, they deal with me. I don't send assistance and stuff like that. I deal with them. So if you know anybody that needs a girl like me in their life, send them my way, please.
Yes, and she's awesome. She's amazing. She's very supportive, and she'll be there for you. And then also she's mobile.
Yes.
So she will come, and she's about to do a facial for me.
Yes, I'm about to do her facial.
Yes,
about to do her
and
facial.
I mean, she does microdermabrasion, so there's several different services that she can come to your home.
Yes, and I am
see
mobile
for.
all
Yeah.
over the DFW. I'm
Yes.
a makeup artist, skin, just anything dealing with skin. So
A little bit of hair too.
yeah.
Yeah, you do hair too. She does it all. I can get that gift.
Not too much on the hair. That's the other cousins.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You'll meet them too.
Yes,
So
you will.
Thank you guys
Yes, you
so
will.
much for joining in.
Yes.
And listening to Finding Your Voice with Nikki, and also Nikki Speaks. And so thank you, Paige, for coming.
Thanks for having
And
me.
we'll see you next time.
Bye.